Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Indy's Trusted Servant Show on InspireSmall.biz. What's Indy's Trusted Servant, first of all? Well, that's me, Danny O'Malia. I'm Indy's Trusted Servant. I do customer service training and keynote speaking about customer service and organizational culture. What is it that makes Chick-fil-A and Nordstrom better than everybody in their industry? Why, they had great cultures and they figured out how to keep them and improve them over the years. And I learned all of that from the hand of the master, my late father, Joe O'Malia, from the O'Malia Food Market days, but even before then, when I was 9 and 10 years old, back in the mid-50s, and he had a little grocery store in Broad Ripple, where the Vanguard Bar is now, and he lost that store. And 10 years later, he came back and successfully launched O'Malia Food Markets, 9 grocery stores, 950 employees, you get the drift. And one of the things I learned from my dad was never, ever, ever give up. So if you're interested in my customer service training and keynoting, give me a call at 317-413-9062. What's the Indy's Trusted Servant Show on InspireSmall.biz? I like to describe it as lively local small biz and community talk where you can feel the pulse of Indy. And today my guest is the younger brother of a longtime friend, Adam Gonzalez. And Adam is an entrepreneurial type of guy, and he's got a lot to tell you about some products he's brought onto the market in the last few years. But before we do that, Adam, tell our viewers a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background and how you came to do what you're doing now. And you can even mention your wife and your little baby if you want.
Thank you, sir. Mr. O'Malley, I really appreciate the opportunity to be here. Much respect to you, your family, and things that you guys have accomplished over the years, so it's an honor.
Thank you. By the way, Albert used to work for one of our produce suppliers when he was a young guy.
Awesome. We frequently visited your store, sir. It was very, very impressive. And again, like I said, it's an honor to be here with you, and we loved your guys' grocery stores and concepts.
Thank you much. Appreciate it.
I am the older brother.
Oh, you're the older brother.
I'm the older brother. I like to say that I'm the younger one, but I am the older brother. I've got 2 younger brothers, Albert and Fernando. And our family's been in the food business, Mr. O'Malley, for really since I was probably 14, 15 years old. My dad worked at General Motors. Him and my mom got divorced when I was, about 9 or 10. And so my mom went into the food business.
What kind of food business?
She's, as you know, in the food business, there's a lot of different, ways of distribution when you get into the food. You have manufacturing, you have distributing, you have restaurants, and you have also grocery stores. My mom started in the restaurant business, and then she went to work for a broker. And so when I saw that, she was always dressed really nice. And my dad, he worked at General Motors, and he would have to work these, second shifts, and he'd get dirty. And so when I saw my mom, I said, Mom,
this is the way to go.
I want to go your route. I want to look good. And she always had these cool foods that she would be sampling, from chicken tenders to whatever. So that's how we kind of started in there. And I kind of gravitated to working for a broker when I first started. And
here in Indy?
Here in Indy. It was a company called DL Brokerage. I started as an entry-level rep. I was there for 10 years. After a few years, I became one of their best salespeople. And after about 5 years, I became a partner of DL Brokerage.
Okay.
And then after 10 years being with them, I was recruited from a Mexican manufacturer in Chicago called V&V Food Products.
Now we're getting into the manufacturing stuff, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I started there, sir. I moved to Chicago, and I took that company from about $29 million to $60 million over a period of 4 or 5 years, and really learned a lot. I had advisors from the University of Chicago, understood more of manufacturing and its techniques, looking at the Hispanic products that sell all over the place. And so I took that knowledge, came back here. In 1998, I started my own brokerage company. My family worked for me, so I represented lines like John Morrell, Mission Foods, Quaker Oats, and kind of did that. And I think, Mr. Amalia, we sold you guys some stuff.
You probably did. Quaker Oats is an interesting company. Just to They did a program for for family-owned grocery companies.
Yeah.
It was called Train the Trainer.
Oh, okay.
It taught us how to better train our management people, okay? I can remember myself and 2 guys flying to Cleveland and going through the program and then bringing it back to O'Malley's. So it was I always considered Quaker Oats a real forward-thinking company.
They were. I was on, actually, with us being, we were trained obviously as a broker. My mom had a lot of knowledge in that, so then I took a lot of what she did and what I learned in the brokerage business. And one of the things that set us apart at that time was the fact that, we were Hispanic, we were bilingual. I mean, I say truly bilingual. Yo te puedo decir lo que quiere decir en español. It's my first
You do
language.
speak Espanol.
Claro que sí. And so that helped us, Mr. Amelia, in getting into categories or segments that you normally wouldn't get into. So we excelled in a lot of the products that would apply into the restaurants or grocery stores with Hispanic products. So we kind of kept going down that particular channel, evolved, and then my mom and I, in 2002, got into our conference room here in Indiana, and we came up with our brand Tia Maria.
Tia Maria. Okay. Okay.
Tia Maria is a very common Hispanic name, Maria.
Right.
And Tia Maria is something that you can say, people can say that in English or in Spanish. It's a very authentic name, but you can also, you can say it real easy. So we liked that. So we took that brand and started messing around with people making products for us at that particular time. And then fast forward over, after the brokerage business consolidated in 2008, and so we were a local broker, and they kind of went nationally. So we kind of started just concentrating on our own brand.
Okay.
And, So during the pandemic, sir, we with all the food service stuff kind of shutting down and going crazy, we launched our retail brand, and I have a little sample here. Mr. Amelia, this is one of the coolest, unbelievable things you'll ever taste. It's our queso.
Okay.
It's the white, beautiful queso that you get at the Mexican restaurants. You sit down, you get salsa and chips. Well, you can order a white queso.
I'm much more of a queso guy than I am a salsa guy.
Okay. Well, we make both. We make all these salsas, quesos, dips, bean dips. But, sir, all you do is warm this up. You can get this now at the Kroger's, Myers, Fresh Times. We sell
Fabulous.
everywhere.
Now this is Tia Maria? That's the brand name?
It's called Viva Tia Maria.
Is this in the dairy case or?
Well, you can find it we sell Market Districts, which was one of our first customers, and then we started some other people. But you can get it mainly in the bakery delis area, okay? But you do find it also in the dairies.
Maybe in some stores, both places, possibly.
Some places, both. Yes, like Market District had it both places.
Yeah.
We're talking to new people that will have it either in the dairy. It just depends. But
is it in Needler's yet?
It is in Needler's.
Okay.
Your old place, sir.
Yeah, 126 and Gray.
Well,
and downtown Indianapolis.
They have like maybe 6 or 7 now.
Here in Indy, yeah.
But they were one of our first customers there. Good company. So anyway, we do dips and salsas and all that. And a funny story there, sir, was that we've always been, we were in the food service until that pandemic hit. And when I saw that, those restaurants had shut down, other than to carry out, I wanted to kind of never really get into that situation again. So we started going into the retail. I saw Windex flying off the shelves of Walmart. You couldn't find it. And I'm like, we got to get into that. And
so you were more in restaurants, and the pandemic pushed you more into retail. Okay.
And I'll tell you a story that's really, really unbelievable. It's, during the pandemic, I would go to the local liquor stores, 21st Amendments, and I would go in there frequently. A gentleman there that ran that company, gave me the opportunity to put a queso in there. I saw that he was
in the liquor store.
Yeah, I saw that he was selling boar's head cheese. And I go, you sell boar's head cheese? And I go, wow. I go, you should sell my queso. And Mr. Amalia, here's the thing. I didn't know if it was going to sell or not. I had developed this little thing. I didn't know.
Did you have the packaging yet?
I had it kind of developed. It wasn't all
It wasn't
ready.
this far along.
No, not at all. But I said, give me a chance. I gave him some samples. He gave me a chance. It flew off the shelves. We
My
went from
gosh.
21st Amendment to Market District. It's part of Giant Eagle.
Right.
We got Kroger after that. We got fresh. And now we've sold over 2 million individual units of our products.
This is really interesting. One of the things we built the Amalia brand on is we would be one of the first people to pick up a product like yours, right?
Yes.
And my guess is you're in Kroger and Meijer because you got in Giant Eagle.
Absolutely.
And they started getting requests from people.
Absolutely.
And that's how that works. Boar's Head, I got to tell you, I know that I'm interviewing you, but I got to share this with you. So we had 1 million requests for Boar's Head, but they weren't in Indiana yet.
Oh.
But people were going to Florida on vacation.
Sure.
and going into stores and getting Boar's Head. So finally Boar's Head decides to come to Indianapolis, and they actually got a hold of us first because they knew we'd be the easiest to get into, right? And they said, here's the thing with Boar's Head. Back then, this was late 90s. We sold the Marsh in 2001, and this was like a year and a half, 2 years before that. And they said, you got to come down to, I think it's Sarasota, Florida, and meet us down there, and you got to sell us on your stores. You got to be good enough for us. Well, I thought that took a lot of guts, right? And so we did, and we were the first to bring Boar's Head to Indianapolis,
Nice.
and it spread to all the other grocery stores eventually, right? And that's what you're doing.
Absolutely. Now, Mr. O'Malley, you know that there's a lot of products out there that are created, manufactured, and so on. And the only thing I would have to say to anybody listening that's looking at, because I get questions of how do you do this, or quite frankly, I think it's very important. You got to have the attitude. Got to have the attitude that you can get some stuff done. And you got to have that energy to go out and get it done.
Exactly.
And like you said, when you first started this interview, that your father started a place, you lost it, and he came back and launched a successful.
Took 10 more years, but he did.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now that is re-engaging your energy in the things that you believe in.
So in your manufacturing facility, how many employees do you have?
We have about 35, 40 employees.
And that's at your place in
Zionsville, Indiana.
Yeah,
Absolutely,
okay.
And I got to tell you, one of the things that helped us, Mr. Amalia, was the fact that, and I didn't know this because I didn't think we would ever be able to sell a huge chain like Kroger or Myers or whatever.
They're not easy to get into.
Absolutely not.
No.
But I think what helped us was the fact that we were local, and we went in and said, look, we've been in business before, and we are a local company, and we have this explosive category of snacks, with dips and things that everybody uses on a regular basis. And that's what got us in.
So I'm always amazed if you add up, small business, it employs more people than big business because there's 1 million small businesses out there,
Sure.
right? And you've grown it from the ground up, just like Joe Amalia grew Amalia Food Markets from the ground up. So more power to you.
Thank you.
Do you have other products beside the queso and salsa?
Oh, we have a whole line. So you
Whole
can
line
visit,
of Tia
you can
Maria.
visit all of our stuff and what we have on our websites, VivaTiaMaria.com.
VivaTiaMaria.com.
It talks about our products in there. We're kind of currently updating it to its thing because we've grown. We've added, in addition to our quesos, which we have queso, hot queso, we've got salsas and bean dips and things like that. We just launched a new salsa line. It's called Roasted Salsa. And sir, I brought some for you to take home and try.
Thank you.
We do a roasted mild, a hot, we do a tomatillo, and an avocado, and you're going to love it. They're phenomenal.
Fantastic. Now, do you do any chips?
We did do chips. We came out with chips because we were a pretty prominent brand in food service and chips. But what's happened is that for the retail side, it's become volume and, just high volume, low cost.
Yeah.
Ours was more of a boutique high end, and for us, we still can do that, but we've concentrated on our dips and salsas because they're just exploding everywhere.
That's fantastic. Now, I don't want to get too far down the road and run out of time. When I originally met you, it was a networking event that I think you were helping put on, right?
It was my event.
It was your event.
Vina
Albert,
event,
your brother, invited me to it. and you introduced me to your beer.
Yes.
So tell us about the beer.
So
You don't have a can of beer to show people, do you?
I don't have one here, I apologize, but I will tell you about it.
Okay.
So I invited, or you came with Mr. Albert to my Una event, and what happened there, Mr. Maya, was during the pandemic, I was going to this liquor store, visiting that and looking at things, and so I began working on for a couple of years the marketing piece of our beer, and so.
Now, do you brew your beer at the salsa place?
So no, what happened was, to brew beer, I wanted to come out with a Mexican lager that my mom would enjoy. I wanted to bring something home that she would be proud of. So
is this something similar to, say, Dos Equis, Modelo? What?
Absolutely.
What? Okay.
It's like that. In my opinion, it's way better. But so what we did was I went to a couple of local brewers to find out if they could co-pack something for me, and then wound up with Sun King Brewing.
That figures because they're local too.
Absolutely.
Right,
So I got with them and I said, guys, I'd like you to see if you could make me a beer. This is what I'm looking for. Here's my marketing piece. They said to me, hey, we would do this. Would you do a beer cheese for us? Now, we didn't have a beer cheese in our portfolio. So I said, after thinking about it, I was like, well, yeah. So I can make a beer cheese for you, absolutely. So I made a beer cheese for them. They made the beer for me. The beer cheese.
When you say you made a beer cheese for them, for their restaurants?
So no, they wanted to
expand a little bit. Okay,
you got to always look at diversifying or whatever was a smart thing. After me thinking about it, I thought it was a good idea. We made the beer cheese while they made our beer. We used the beer that they make for us into the beer cheese. It's our top 5 selling item.
Well, have you thought about manufacturing the beer cheese along with this?
We use the beer in our beer cheese.
You got the beer cheese there?
Right here.
There it is. Okay. All right.
And it's got the little Sun King logo on there.
Back to the O'Malley days. This goes way back into the 70s. The big roaring thing was Windschuler's Bar Cheese. Remember this?
Wow.
Windschuler's Bar Cheese. We had never heard of it. We brought it into the stores. It started selling like crazy. By the way, I don't know if you can see this, but this is Adam's business card, and this is what the beer looks like. And the Una, UNA, right?
Fantastic, yes.
Is it available in liquor stores, I assume?
It's available in some liquor stores, and it's available in food service on the taps, on tap.
So
like people like we have local people like Drake's. We have the Mexican restaurants like Verde. We have Charleston's. We've got.
It's in Charleston's. Mm-hmm. We eat at Charleston's a lot.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Okay.
It's really good. It's a phenomenal. The Sun King people did a great job of helping me put that together. So
Sun King is a local company that I really respect.
Awesome.
They do a lot in the community.
Yep.
They're creative.
Very.
Right? And they're accessible,
Yep.
which is really, really nice.
And that just goes to show, I'm sure, with your experience, Mr. Malia, that it's important. It's not only with whatever you're doing. Collaborations can really take you into a whole another segment of, different products and being successful. So we're very proud of that.
Back to the Boar's Head thing for a minute. My cousin, who used to be our produce director, his name's Bill Wakehorst, and he's Broccoli Bill. Okay, yeah. Up on Gray Road.
Yeah.
And he wanted to bring in, what was it? He wanted to bring, I can't remember the brand name. Oh, no, this goes back to Boar's Head. Mm-hmm. That's right, because he had already left us, started Broccoli Bill's. He heard about Boar's Head. We'd been hearing about Boar's Head for a long time. The Boar's Head people came to Indianapolis and told Bill, you're not big enough for us to come to Indianapolis for, but can you get us 2 other places? He goes, well, I can get you O'Malley's, right? Because awesome. He's my cousin. And I'm trying to think of what the other place was, but it was Atlas. Oh, okay. And of course, they were famous for picking up new products. So then Boar's Head said, okay, that's enough volume for us to come to Indianapolis. Awesome. So there you go with the collaboration thing. And there's also another lesson there, and that is, Broccoli Bill left O'Malley's, but that didn't mean we couldn't help each other.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
That's a big part of doing business the right way.
Absolutely.
So,
and you know, I think it's important, but I think to be successful, Mr. Amalia, I'm sure you understand that it's important to have supporting cast. You know, you got to have, in addition to whatever you're doing, you surround yourself with successful people. It just really pushes you to other levels.
absolutely, absolutely. Hi, back to your manufacturing for just a minute.
Yes, sir.
How difficult is it to find and keep good employees?
Well, everybody's
days,
struggling
yes,
with employees. I think what we try to do is provide a good working environment. We bring people in and start them at a certain level and try to bring them along to key positions. You know, one of the things that I'm very proud of, the Hispanic community, is they're very hard workers, Mr. Amalia.
Amen, amen.
And so we bring those people, help them along with training and so on. And I think that they also appreciate opportunities, which allows us to recruit other people and so forth. So I think what's key is, you know, providing a good environment, treating people correctly, and moving forward.
Moving forward in a rational way, not too fast,
Right.
not too slow.
Sure.
Right? If you don't grow, you lose people.
Yep.
If you grow too fast, well, here comes the whole thing with culture.
Sure.
You could lose your culture. So you got to balance those things.
Absolutely.
That's we'll talk more about that later. Sure. Fantastic. Well, tell us about. Got a minute to tell us about your family?
Oh my God! So I'm married, and we just recently had a baby girl. Her name is Zara Maria Gonzalez.
And I think you said she's 2 months old.
2 months, 2
Congrats.
weeks, and oh my God, she's just turned my world upside down. I'm so happy and experiencing things that I thought I never have. It's my first child. It's our first child, my wife Amber and I's first child, and we're so tickled to death. She's healthy. She's giggly, and it's bringing a whole array of sunshine to our lives.
Well, that's fantastic. Now, for our viewers, one more time, tell them how they can access information about the Tia Maria and the Una.
Okay. So on our products, you can always go to vivatiamaria.com. And there it'll show what products we have. It'll talk about where the availability is, you know, where you can get it, more information, how to contact us. And that website is continuing to evolve, Mr. Amalia, as we continue to grow. It'll show the products that we're either coming out with, and you can stay really in contact with us through that website. So we're very, want to be very accessible to people.
Well, what about the Una beer?
And the Una beer, my God.
Una beer.
Una, means one, you know, in Spanish, feminine.
Yep.
And the Una beer is available to all the Sun King tap rooms. So you can go to Sun King tap rooms, and they have our cans.
Right.
We have, you know, everything that we have available from
And
Una.
you mentioned Charleston's, so
Yes.
there's 2 more places.
There are places that are coming up, you know, like that has us on tap. And we only launched it. You were at our launch last February.
That was the
so
launch.
we're
yeah.
still tweaking out, you know, that particular product. We're looking at different products that we're going to be coming out, ready to use, extended beer times, and so on. So look for our products on our website, including the Una beer, and also at Sun King Tap Rooms.
And will you list on the Una beer site the various restaurants that are available?
Yes, we have not done that yet, but it's coming.
But it's coming.
We're
What
trying to
about
get it
liquor stores, grocery stores?
and liquor stores? You'll be able to see everything that's available, where it's available. And
Is it available now in liquor stores?
It is.
You want to name a couple of the
So
chains?
like the 21st Amendment.
21st Amendment, yeah.
Some of them are trying, it's like it's fairly new, so you'll be seeing different displays available in the liquor store.
Any other liquor stores?
So it has been available at the Big Reds and all that. People are just now trying it.
That's a lot of stores, Big Red. What about grocery stores?
Grocery stores, actually, Kroger in Speedway has had it before. We're working with Kroger to actually do something nationwide with it.
Well, you got the relationship with Kroger through the salsas,
Absolutely.
right? So
Yep.
that's a start.
Yes,
That's
sir.
fantastic.
Yes.
So, well, Albert, Adam, it's been great having you as my guest on the Indy's Trusted Servant Show. Next week's guest will be Tim Garrity, who's a fairly new friend who moved here from California about 5 years ago for a better lifestyle for his kids. and he's very big up in Westfield, and he's going to talk to seniors about protecting their wealth. So tune in next week for Tim Garrity. And I want to thank Ryan Henry for offering me the opportunity to have my show here at Refinery 46. I almost forgot. Albert has relocated the taping of the show. That's how old I am. To Refinery 46, which is a new networking facility at 46th and Keystone that's in the former warehouse of 7-Eleven and Double 8 Foods, if you can believe it. So thanks for watching the YouTube series. Adam, thanks for being here. We'll talk a little bit in the future, and everybody have a great week.
Thank you.